Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say it's a little late. It's a little late, but I know. For me, right now, it's 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. Um, I wasn't able to do this last night, on Monday, due to the simple fact that I had to work. I had to work at 12 o'clock at midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning. It was more like to 30, but who's gonna argue with the extra hours? That means more money. So I'm gonna do Raw now. If it does come down to this sometimes, then this is what's gonna have to come down to. I'm sorry, because you guys know me. I usually watch Raw, take my notes I need to take, and then tell you guys what happened, what's going on, rivalries that they're going to possibly try to do, all this other kind of stuff. And this is how it's going to have to be. I can't control it. I can't really control this, because there's stuff I want to do for you guys, like bring you guys like Let's Plays. It's not going to be Let's Play. I'm going to think of some kind of title for it. But we're going to do that. We're going to play new games. Like, come Friday, I'm probably going to try to get the new Batman game. I need to get stuff to record. I need money for all this. Right now, the first thing on my mind is a car, to where I can go places, drive myself around, do all this other stuff. And you need money for that. I need to make that money. So, I need to eat. I need to drink. We all do. So that's why if it doesn't come that Monday after Raw, that's why it's going to come later. And right now it's coming later. So we're doing the Raw review now because I slept like all day. Went to bed at like 10ish and woke up at 12 or at 1 o'clock. So I've only been up for like 4 hours. So yes, this is 4 hours Eastern time, because remember, I'm in Georgia. So yeah. Let's get on with the Raw review. I tried to do this twice, but I ran out of time. So the first time it messed up. The second time it was like 11:45. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't. I just gotta go. And I was in the middle of it, so it's like, time. Time is not on my side sometimes. But for Raw, we started out with Triple H and Stephanie walking into the ring. Still as a married couple, it looks like. And Stephanie was announcing the matches at Hell in a Cell. Well, while she was doing this, she said, like, we have a handicap match with Paul Heyman and Ryback versus CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell. We've got the World Heavyweight Championship match with the return of John Cena against Alberto Del Rio. We've got the WWE title match with Shawn Michaels as special guest referee. We got the Divas title match, which that's the new one she introduced, with Brie Bella versus AJ. Speaking of Hell in a Cell, we are doing Hell in a Cell Prediction Night Thursday, the 24th. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing a Hell in a Cell Prediction Night. Because I work tonight. It's that simple. Gotta make that money. We then have Triple H get on the mic, and he's talking about like how RVD, Edge, Jericho. He said those three, but I'm sure he was also talking about some other guys. Didn't live up to their expectations, because now they're basically gone. Now those guys are all lashing out at Triple H. Like Edge has said he was an 11-time world champion, and he beat Triple H on a number of occasions. Jericho's even said, hey, I'm the guy who, when you had that big title reign, I took it away from you. I was the first ever undisputed champion. I'm the king of the world. You might be the king of kings, but I'm the king of the world. You've got RVD saying that he was the only man to hold the ECW and WWE championship at the same time. He's eliminated Triple H in so many Royal Rumble matches, it's hard to count. Wait. Actually, it's easy to count, but he's eliminated Triple H in so many Royal Rumble matches. that these guys have a legitimate cause. But Triple H was basically destroying the reputation of these guys, and Triple H destroys your reputation, you know something bad's gonna happen. And Triple H says that he respects the guest referee for the Hell in a Cell WWE title match. One man heard that word respect, and who is that man? I'll give you a hint. He is a 7'2", 500-pound giant. He is the world's largest athlete. His hand is probably about the size I'm talking to you guys in right now. A laptop. His hand is probably, they said that his hand is about the size of a frying pan or a laptop. Can you imagine getting hit by one of those? Especially in the face. So, the Big Show heard the word respect, and he's like, respect? You respect nobody. You don't respect Shawn Michaels. You don't respect any of the guys in the backstage. You don't respect John Cena. You respect no one. And Triple H said, and all of a sudden Triple H started arguing with Big Show, and Big Show actually said something that made me laugh, even though I'm a Triple H guy. He says, I would be upset if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed every night. And heck, considering who you're sleeping with, the wrong side of the bed is every day. Or he said something. It was something like that. And it was actually pretty funny. I was laughing. I was told to shut up because I was laughing so hard. So while Triple H and Big Show were arguing, because Big Show was there via satellite. While they were arguing, Stephanie was trying to get Big Show off the screen, and they finally got Big Show off the screen. And here's what this is leading up to: sometime between Hell in a Cell and WrestleMania, they're going to try to do a Triple H versus Big Show match. And I'm sure it's going to be like the Cody Rhodes stipulation that if Triple H loses, then Big Show gets his house back, he gets his career back, he gets his life back, he gets all his stuff back, and he doesn't have to be a rebel. I love the Big Show. Big Show's probably my favorite giant to ever step foot in the WWE, whether heel or face. But I'm still a Triple H guy, and you guys know I like Triple H. He's a heel, and I still like Triple H. I've got when WWE 2K14 comes out in 6 days. Yeah, in 6 days when it comes out. I got some storylines like I'm going to do with Triple H, with The Shield, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Ryback. But I need a Roxio to do it, or not really a Roxio, some kind of game capturing device. I can take it from my computer, upload it, and I need an editing software. And I need to edit it. But after they got Triple H or the Big Show off the screen, Triple H introduces the first match of the night, and it was going to be Dean Ambrose versus Daniel Bryan. And Triple H, he loves the Shield, so he always has this big introduction. So he says the first match is Dean Ambrose versus Daniel Bryan, and this man representing the Shield, Dean Ambrose, and then the Fight for the Valkyrie starts playing, and who comes out? None other than the yes himself, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes out, and he actually defeats Dean Ambrose by way of tap out. Now I'm also being told that this is probably going to be how the Shield break up. They lose the tag team titles. Eventually, Dean Ambrose loses the United States title, and they might break up at Survivor Series. If you guys remember last year, that's when they debuted. So it had been a full year of them together as a team, and then them break up. But then again, they might not. Who knows? It's just a rumor right now. I like the Shield. I love the Shield to death. Shield is probably one of my favorite teams to ever step foot in the WWE besides DX. And I told you guys, tell your friends, tell your people, more views we get, the better. More subscriptions you get, the better, and I'm going to reward you guys. Okay? Because this co-worker of mine I've told you guys about is wondering where this is a DX video. Here it is. One, I need to reward you guys if you guys reward me. 10 subscribers, DX video comes out. There you go. I said it. Stop bugging me about it. But Daniel Bryan beat Dean Ambrose via the Lavelle lock, yes lock, no lock, whatever lock you want to call it, I don't care. The lock. I don't know. Coming up with names here. Yes lock, I mean, it's not really a submission hold. We then had CM Punk come out, and he was saying that Ryback and Paul Heyman would be locked inside of the Hell in a Cell. Now, here's the interesting thing about this rivalry. I don't know how many of you guys realize this. This time last year, Punk was on his 434-day title reign as WWE Champion. And it was around Hell in a Cell. He went up against Ryback, but Paul Heyman was on the side of CM Punk as WWE Champion. He went up against Ryback inside Hell in a Cell, and who was the referee? It was our current Raw GM, Brad Maddox. Who won that match? CM Punk actually won that match because Brad Maddox low-blowed Ryback as he was about to do the shell shock to CM Punk. Now here's the thing. I will be watching Hell in a Cell. Last year's Hell in a Cell sucked. But I'm going to be watching Hell in a Cell. I just got done watching Bound for Glory. Sucked. Don't waste your money on it. Don't even buy the encore presentation of it. It sucked. So they basically, here's what happened basically. In the time frame of a year, they switched roles. One is now heel, one is now babyface, because you had CM Punk as the heel WWE champion with Paul Heyman. They basically switched roles, except for there's no title on any of them. Heyman is now with Ryback, and Punk is by himself. Ryback is now heel, CM Punk is now face. They switch roles. He says that he was going to GTS Ryback, take Paul Heyman, and grind his face against every rung of the against every part of the steel cage. Wouldn't surprise me. CM Punk could be a barbaric guy sometimes. Here's a little fact for you right now about CM Punk. And you guys are actually going to be shocked as I am to hear about this. Punk, first of all, Punk used to be dating Lita. Okay? Apparently they broke up here in, like, I think around the time of SummerSlam they broke up. Well, Punk is back to dating again. I mean, if you guys can guess who that is, and I'll give you a hint, she is a current diva in WWE. If you guys can guess who he's currently dating, I will give you a shout out. If no one guesses it, I'll just say it next week. I'm going to have to give you guys a couple days because tomorrow I'm doing the Hell in a Cell prediction night. So, and then he says he's going to win against CM Punk and Ryback. That's basically where it all came down to. We then have Triple H talking to Vicky. He says, "I need you to take care of this small stuff around here. I'll take care of the big stuff. You take care of the small stuff." And at the same time, Stephanie was with them, trying to find out if Victor's in the arena, trying to get security tightened up, just in case Big Show does try to come in. Where's the Big Show at? They walk into their office, and who is standing right there? None other than, this is in his words, HB Shizzle himself, Shawn Michaels. Apparently that's what got him the vote, was him saying HB Shizzle. I don't know. HBK was talking to Triple H. He says, "I'm trying to figure out what's happened to you two. we used to have fun. We used to be ruthless. He says, to be honest with you, I think it's a suit. And Stephanie puts the phone down to her chest and she says, you know, a lot has changed in the WWE. And he said, and Shawn Michaels turns and says, you know, a lot has changed in might have changed in WWE, but I haven't, and I still like to have fun. So you know what? I'm going to go have some fun. And he does his little skipping out, or whatever the heck that is he does with his. I guess he's like trying to play drums with like an imaginary glow stick like he usually does, which I can understand the glow sticks, but there's nothing in his hand. When he's playing the air drums like I can play the air guitar, I don't know. Or you could be like Hulk Hogan and take your title and just Speaking of which, this might get retired sometime soon, because when I get my car, I might get a new championship. It's better than this. It might even be it's probably gonna be the adult replica of the new WWE Championship. That thing costs, to be honest with you, a lot of money. But that's why I work a lot, so I can make that money to get a new one. So, not telling you guys where I got this, by the way, and how much I spent on it. I'm not telling you guys how much I spent on any of this stuff, because to be honest with you, it's none of your business. We then had Santino. Okay, first of all, to understand this segment, this match, they were in Memphis, Tennessee, and that is the home of the king of rock and roll, the home of one of my favorite bands, Saliva, the home of Jerry the King Lawler, the home of Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, the home, I guess, of the Honky Tonk Man. We were in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, so Santino decides to come out dressed up as Elvis. And when Santino comes out, you have his little buddies with him. The 7-foot, unable to wrestle giant as the Great Khali, and the little dude who's like, I don't know, 1'2", 1'4", 2'3", 2'0". I don't know how tall Hornswoggle is. Quite frankly, I don't care how tall Hornswoggle is. He's the little dude with the beard that wears green. But he came out with Elvis hair as long as Khali. Santino was the only one to be dressed up as really Elvis. But I say you're dressed up as Elvis if you have the Elvis hair. I don't know. I don't know what wrestling's gotten into, but this is getting ridiculous. Santino faced Heath Slater. And of course, 3MB is still on a losing streak. Drew McIntyre is thinking about is talking about leaving 3MB and going back as the chosen one, Vince McMahon's chosen one. Quite simple. Santino got the win here by the Cobra. Stupid move, but it apparently works. We then had Dolph Ziggler versus Randy Orton. Orton won this with RKO. We then have a Divas Tag Team match. We had AJ and Tamina versus the Bellas. And when I say the Bellas, I mean both Bellas. Here's the thing, though. Brie Bella is indeed engaged to Daniel Bryan. Nikki Bella is dating John Cena. And who's returning at Hell in a Cell? John Cena. This would be an interesting one if they both return within the same week. If they return in the same night, that would make it even better. Why has Nikki Bella been out? And I've said this before. You saw it on Told Divas if you watched it. She indeed hurt her leg somewhere. I think it was like her ankle, her knee, or something. Okay. At one point in this match, Nikki was the illegal person. She gets thrown out by Tamina, lands awkwardly on her right leg, holds her knee real quick because she was injured, because she's still injured too, and she slides in the ring, does a couple moves, tags in her sister. Nikki was not in that long. That was just their test to see if Nikki's ready to come back, because she said she thinks she is. But they wanted to do a test to see if Nikki was indeed back, because she doesn't really need crutches anymore. because she can walk on it. But here's the thing: AJ got tagged in. Brie Bella got tagged in. She was on fire. She does her little face buster, face crusher thing. I'm gonna call it the Bella Factor because it's like the X Factor. She does her little Bella Factor and gets the 1-2-3 on AJ. We then have Paul Heyman interviewed, and he loses his flipping mind. Okay, it looks like he was about to start pulling out the rest of their hair that he still had left on that head of his, including that ponytail. And then he says he is cold-hearted, calculated. He's got his monster eye back, and he's got a plan for CM Punk. And then we get a pop-up. Who pops up? None other than Big E Langston himself, because I indeed did watch SmackDown. And on SmackDown, it was CM Punk versus Big E Langston. Punk won it. Heyman comes out with his little lackeys of Axel and Ryback, and he says that he says, "Oh, congratulations! You know what? Big E Langston was just a sheer rookie. Whoopee." As they come in to attack CM Punk, Big E Langston actually saves the day for Punk, and that's where Big E Langston turned face. Now, we now have Big E Langston interrupting Paul Heyman, and he says, "Who's the rookie? You're going to be the rookie once CM Punk is done with you." And he says, "I don't like you." And so Axel kind of steps in front, and then they make a match. Big E Langston versus Curtis Axel. The match gets accepted. But here's the thing. After Hell in a Cell, and I'm telling you this right now, after Hell in a Cell, it's looking like Punk and Ryback are going to be done for a little bit. We need to have another Punk Lesnar match, and that would be good to have at Survivor Series. Because that's one of the pay-per-views that is kind of in that whole you could do better, but it's okay. Come TLC, it was good. It was getting better. Now we're starting to pick up pace as we go towards WrestleMania. Hell in a Cell is one of those pay-per-views that it starts getting a little bit better. Because we just gotta bear with it. We're in that crap phase like we were last year. Their plan is to have Ryback versus Big E Langston. Okay. We then have the Wyatt family of Eric Rowan and Luke Harper versus The Miz and Kofi Kingston again. And the Wyatt family win this because Luke Harper does the spinning clothesline. I mean, he just floored Kofi Kingston. He does this massive clothesline. Kofi Kingston does this flipping on this and lands on his face. JBL gets excited about that clothesline because who knows clothesline's better than JBL? What was his finisher? Clothesline from hell. It was a great clothesline. And I give props to Luke Harper on this match. He did a fantastic job. I think Luke Harper's going to do some great stuff in the future. But daggum, JBL was like, now that's what I'm talking about. Now that's clothesline. I like this guy. And JBL was praising him. Luke Harper got praised after this match backstage due to the simple fact that he took that match and just took control of it. He grabbed the bull by its horns and rode that match to its end after he got tagged back in. We then had Curtis Axel versus Big E Langston. But here's the thing. Ryback attacks Big E before the match starts, and Curtis Axel kind of jumps in there, and they're kind of scruffling around. At one point, Paul Heyman grabs a kendo stick and hits Big E Langston in the back. So he spins around and looks at Paul Heyman. Punk comes out to save the day. They make a tag team match with Big E Langston, CM Punk versus Axel and Ryback. And they had this whole breast cancer awareness month where everyone's going to wear pink to the ring. Punk was sporting his pink. He was wearing this hot pink tights and all this. And Punk and Big E get the win after Big E does the big ending to Curtis Axel. That leads to a now Hell in a Cell pay-per-view match. It's going to be Big E Langston versus Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship. We then have, like I said, yet again, Tons of Funk versus We the People, the Real Americans. Swagger puts the Patriot Lock on Brodus Clay, and Brodus Clay taps out. That's how the match ended. Zeb Coulter comes in and says that he's actually mad about at the Los Matadores because he thinks that they snuck across our borders and their little bull El Torito. Well, Zeb Coulter also says, I have a new little friend, and it's none other than a bullwhip, which looks like an Indiana Jones whip. And he says that Los Matadores and that little bull are going to be taken out, which I don't know when. Probably Survivor Series, because it's not happening at Hell in a Cell. We then have a #1 contenders match for the World Tag Team titles. The Usos versus none other than one of my favorite teams, The Shield. Now here's the thing about this match. We're calling on the Rhodes Dynasty. The Rhodes Dynasty was on commentary. Okay? The Rhodes Dynasty was on commentary. This match was actually pretty good. But here's the thing, it went to a no contest. This match now leads to a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view match of a triple threat tag team match at Hell in a Cell for the World Tag Team titles. And that was your main event. Because they had what they were introducing all night, the contract signing, and no joke, this contract signing literally took up 1 full page. That's how long this was. It took up 1 page of notes. This is my notebook, okay? This little yellow part here of this notebook is like your halfway point, okay? I went through 1 page, and then your WWE contract sign took up 1 full page of notes. That's how apparently big they wanted this segment to be, because it was that big. And I can't believe I wrote all this. I feel like I was back in school writing a report or something. But we did indeed had our WWE Hell in a Cell contract signing with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. Triple H and Stephanie come back out and they reside over the contract signing. They introduced the face of the company, Randy Orton, and Triple H says that he trusts the guest referee because they're best friends. He says, I'm going to have Triple H is introducing everyone. He says, I'm going to have a great honor introducing this guy, HBK Shawn Michaels. So after everyone comes out, Stephanie says, Randy, you're the face of the company, you got the floor. And Randy Orton does his little put down first. Brian, he gives Brian props and says, you won't get back, he says, you always get up every time I knock you down, but come Hell in a Cell, you will not be getting back up. Orton, that's right, Orton mentions all the guys he's faced in Hell in a Cell. And he says the number one guy he's faced in Hell in a Cell was The Undertaker. He did come short of it, but he faced The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, or inside Hell in a Cell. He says this will be Brian's first Hell in a Cell match. Now, this is like Orton's 4th, 7th-ish. Orton says he's faced John Cena, Sheamus, Undertaker, so I think it only is his 4th one. But this is indeed Brian's first. Then Brian gets the mic and he says, it wasn't for all this, if it wasn't for all the screw jobs, I would still be WWE champion, and that's the damn truth. If he didn't get screwed over at SummerSlam, well, Orton cashed in, so you can't really say that's a screw over. If at Night of Champions the ref didn't do a fast count, then he would still be WWE champion. If the Big Show didn't knock out Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan and the ref at Battlegrounds, I'm sure he would have been WWE champion. Bryan says, "I have 2 words for ya," and everyone in the crowd's like, "Suck it!" because you actually have DX in the ring. Thank you. He says, thank you, and he disses. He basically rips Triple H and Stephanie a new one. He says Jericho, RVD, Edge were never good, and if they were the face of the company, we would still be we'd be working with Ted Turner. Now, who is Ted Turner? Ted Turner is the guy who basically made WCW. What happened to WCW? They got bought out because their show was crap. After Goldberg's losing streak ended, they were crap. And this was Triple H saying that if any of them became the face of the company, that WWE would have been working with WCW. Would have been WCW. Here's the honest fact for you. It's almost turning into WCW. John Cena's your face of the company. Don't you think you should fix that? Because around this time, people start tuning you out until, like, TLC. It's a whole pay-per-view, you're losing money. But, who knows. Bryan says, the suit is your power. Why don't you trade that in for some nice tights? And so Triple H says that he would love to fight Daniel Bryan, but he's not a star. And Triple H does not wrestle for free. That Daniel Bryan is a star like The Rock was, like Stone Cold Steve Austin was, like HBK was. HBK says he shouldn't have wasted his time, or Triple H says that HBK shouldn't have wasted his time training you. HBK comes on the mic and says, whoa, waste of time? I like this kid. This kid knows what he's doing. This kid has worked his butt off, month in, month out, year after year. And he asked Triple H, he says, why is it that you hate Daniel Bryan? And as they're talking, all of a sudden, there's a zoom in of the parking garage area, and then here goes this big rig plowing through everything. Big rig's coming through the arena. Who is driving this big rig? Well, the cameraman actually zooms in on the driver, and it's none other than the Big Show. It enters the stage area, and Big Show comes out, and he starts, yes, and chant. Yeah. And then he's sitting there saying like, hi Triple H, how's it going? He's like, hey Orton, why don't you look behind you? And they're like, what? Look behind you. Finally Orton turns around and boom, running knee right to the face to Orton. After that, Daniel Bryan rolls out the ring, kind of smiles, and goes over to the big rig and starts, yesing on top of the big rig. How did he get up there? And everyone's just, yes. Big Show crowd is, HBK was still looking at like the corners that Daniel Bryan left with Stephanie and Triple H. He was still in the ring. And we fade out from the crowd just, yes, with Big Show and Daniel Bryan. Now, that was your Raw. This Raw was not that bad. Some of the stuff could have been fixed, like the 3-B match. Ugh, God. Constant matches that you have week in, week out, day after day needs to stop. Okay? We call this the crap month of WWE, because this is where your show turns into crap after SummerSlam. But that's it. That's all for the Raw review. tune in tomorrow night. Now, this is tomorrow night, Thursday, the 24th. We are doing Hell in a Cell prediction night. Now, as you see, I have nothing on this page because they keep adding stuff. Now, don't be at all surprised if they add more matches come Hell in a Cell, like they've been doing. They added the Bray Wyatt Kofi Kingston match like I said they would, but they added more after that I didn't even know would come out. They like to add matches at the last minute sometimes. So don't be at all surprised if that happens. Your pre-show is the Intercontinental Championship match. So that's what that is. But thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Raw Review. Tune in tomorrow for Hell in a Cell Prediction Night. I am the YouTube champion, which I probably should get a sticker that says YouTube. I'm the YouTube champion, and I'm checking out.